Good morning. Welcome to Shields and Arrows, where we defend the faith, the family, and the fellowship. I am Pastor Mark Baze. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to try to get as much packed in as we can. I'm going to have to stop right at an hour, if not a little bit quicker, because I am going to immediately turn around and get ready to head down, not really down, more like over to the east, over to Sobel, Oklahoma, to do the first session of our Bible conference. And I do have to get a few things done, like build a frame to transport our big TV in that we're going to be bringing over there. So I'm excited about that. I will do my very best to allow us to live stream it. I can't make a guarantee. I will record it. There may be a live stream. That's just going to be either it's going to happen or it's not. I'm not going to be able to announce it beforehand. I've got to get over there, test everything to see if it's going to work. So I'm not going to promise you one way or the other. But let me see here. Let me get it pulled back up. If you have not got to see it yet, our fancy promotional, whatever you want to call it, for the Bible conference. There it is, God's Preserved Word. 2024 Bible Conference, session number 1, Why So Many Bible Translations? Going to be looking at the source, the cause of it, the different philosophies behind translation, the different underlying texts. Session number 2, what is the actual difference between the Bible translations? And then session number 3, we're going to be looking at the doctrine of preservation. So that's going to be tonight, which is the 29th, through the 31st. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. I know many of you do not live in Oklahoma or at least near Sobel, but if you do get to make it out, there's going to be a meal at 6 o'clock, and then the session will start at 7 o'clock. Right now, we're just doing hour sessions, basically, probably more like 45 minutes. But that is what it's going to be. I'm excited about it. I hope that you are as well, because I think it's going to be a good time. We're going to be talking about some very, very important matters, a lot of things that people do not know about when it comes to the matter of the Bible. Where did it come from? How do we have it today? And we're going to be looking at all of those various matters. Some of this is going to be very elementary, basic stuff that you already know. If you've already watched my Getting to Know Your Bible series, you're probably going to be very familiar with a lot of the content, but it will be a good, condensed, 3-part series that you can share with people. Maybe you can watch to have as a refresher. So I'm excited about it. I hope that everybody is going to be able to enjoy it, understand, appreciate the purpose, the significance of it. I do think translation matters. What Bible you use, it's important. We do need to care. And at the very least, even if you are not certain that one particular translation's best, at least you're going to be familiar with where we're coming from, and so you'll consider the matter instead of just saying, well, whatever Bible I have, that's going to work for me. And so with that, moving on, great to have all of you with us here, looking at the chats just flowing on in. Great to have all of you with us. I appreciate you joining us and glad that you're all new people getting to meet each other, united by like-minded values of defending the faith, the family, and the fellowship. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get into a few things that I want to talk about. Now, we are going to address the matter of saints, hagios, the translation of it. Did we get it right by taking the hagios word in the Greek, which was adjective, and making it a noun in many of our English Bibles? Was that the right move, or did we make a mistake by doing that? We're going to be talking about that. and we're going to actually cover that pretty quickly here in just a moment. Also, we're going to end the show by talking about an article on the Gospel Coalition, because you can always count on the Gospel Coalition to talk about something, and I have to give my thoughts and comments because very rarely do they say something and I think, man, they did such a good job, they got that right. Most of the time I'm thinking, what are you doing? So this is another case of whenever I look at them and say, what are you doing? You're missing a very important point here. And also, today I want to start out talking about, did you know that there is now a new MLB lifetime average leader? The MLB has completely rewritten their rule books, and the new leader of the MLB lifetime batting average is Josh Gibson. Now, Josh Gibson was not a Major League Baseball player. You may be asking yourself, wait a minute, how can he be the Major League Baseball lifetime batting average leader if he never played Major League Baseball? Well, that's because he played in the Negro Leagues back before baseball was non-segregated. This was prior to Jackie Robinson, and he played in the league, obviously, for the which team? The Grays, Crawford Grays, I believe, or whatever team he may have played for. I'm trying to look and see what says where his team name was. But he was an amazing baseball player. I believe he had a lifetime batting average of .372 in the Negro Leagues, and he has now made the lifetime, all-time batting average record holder for Major League Baseball, passing Ty Cobb, who was like some 367, 368. Okay, I want to talk about this matter. Josh Gibson was not technically a Major League Baseball player. Therefore, technically, he should not be the Major League Baseball batting average all-time leader. Now, let me say this. The history of a segregated anything, whether it's sports, school, society, you name it, is obviously a time of that we do not look at and say that was a good thing. Okay, we look back at that and we say, yeah, obviously that was wrong. To divide people based upon the color of their skin is not morally right. It is a very good thing that we have moved past the Jim Crow era segregation laws. So it's a very good thing that Jackie Robinson became the first black player to play in Major League Baseball. But was he, though? There was a few who may have worked around it by saying they were, Indian or something like that, and that managed to get their foot in the door. And so maybe Jackie Robinson was the first official black baseball player. It's an amazing thing, a great thing, and I think it's good that we have a Jackie Robinson Day where every player wears 42. I'm fine with that. That's good. The reality is, prior to Jackie Robinson, you had a league that was Major League Baseball, but it wasn't necessarily all the greatest baseball players in the country because you did have that segregation. And what this means is, for Ty Cobb, who played in the days of segregated baseball, his batting average and any record that he has an asterisk by it. Meaning that, yes, he holds the record, but it was in the days whenever baseball was segregated. The title of the show is Every Record Has an Asterisk. Every single one. And we need to be very careful to try to rewrite the history books. And what we need to do is be honest. Because what you're going to do is you're basically saying that Josh Gibson was a Major League Baseball player, but he actually wasn't. We are now in the realm of rewriting history. What he was a Negro League Baseball player, and a very good one, and yes, he could have played Major League Baseball if he would have been allowed to. And I think we could all agree what a shame that he didn't get to. So with that, I'm also going to tell you this. Josh Gibson's batting average of .372, an amazing batting average, that has an asterisk by it as well. Because you know why? He also was not playing against the greatest baseball players in the country. He was playing against many great baseball players, but not the greatest possible combination because guess what? There was segregation. So the greatest players in the Major League, the greatest players in the Negro League, they never played against each other. So there are asterisks by every single record that any of those players had set. That is an absolute fact. So therefore, to try to combine those two and say, here is the hierarchy, it's all the same, is not accurate. It is not right. Furthermore, today's rules, Major League Baseball has changed the rules. Stolen bases no longer are the same record because the bases are bigger. There are now pickoff rules. There's pitch clocks. So everything has been changed. Furthermore, I could argue that if you look at, this is true for any sport, think about growing up once upon a time when you didn't have youth leagues to where you could get all this extra playing time. Kids were playing in the streets. They were playing with their friends. That was summer ball. Okay, you would go outside and play with your friends. Now we have kids who are being coached from the age of 5 years old by private professional coaches, and parents are paying thousands of dollars to these people. So therefore, yeah, it would make sense that maybe the athletes that we have today have a better advantage. And maybe they are technically a little bit better as far as their skill-wise because they've been getting professionally trained for a long time. Now, you could argue, though, that, I don't know, maybe we've regressed a little bit in our athletic ability. Maybe we lack a little bit of physical toughness as well as mental toughness that previous ages had, that maybe we are not quite so tough anymore. I mean, I'm not near as tough as what my dad, grandpa, and men that came before me, because guess what? I lived in a house that had central air conditioning. Let's see here. Things were a lot more abundant. I didn't have to be eating canned biscuits and beans for every single meal during the week when times were tough. I got a little bit better nutrition. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than my dad. So the things that I accomplished, yeah, maybe there should be an asterisk right there, at least as far as my family's concerned, because I got to have the opportunity and access to things that they didn't. Every single record, every single accomplishment has an asterisk. Nobody is just a self-made man, because you do have the benefits of somebody else's work and effort and labor. If it wasn't for the eras of Josh Gibson and all the other great players, Ty Cobb, fill in the blank, we would not have baseball as we know it today. But to lump everything in together is to deny history, and it's to deny reality. So there's an asterisk by both Ty Cobb's and Josh Gibson's record. Plain and simple. You cannot deny that. You can make up whatever rule you want. Now, with that, what about Japan? Where do you put the limit on? We have Japanese baseball players in this country. There are leagues in Japan right now that are very good, and very likely, if you look at the history and the talent of Japan, probably those teams are better than some of the Major League and Negro League teams that maybe we had in the past. They are really, really good. Some of the best players in the nation, some of the best players in Major League Baseball came over from Japan. Think of Ichiro Suzuki, Shohei Ohtani. There's amazing Japanese baseball players. Do their records get incorporated? If so, you've got some guy over there that has like some 800 home runs. Are you going to let him jump Barry Bonds? Something tells me the Major League Baseball Association record books, Cooperstown, is not going to let that happen. There is the reality of a prejudice.